I hope you enjoyed your lunch. आवाज़ नहीं आ रही है, खाना अच्छे से नहीं खाया लग रहा है. Let's start. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be able to acknowledge such a grand event at such a beautiful level. Today, I Pooja will be your host for the evening. Are you guys excited for the panel session? आवाज़ नहीं आ रही है. मिठाई नहीं खाई लग रहा है. अच्छा नहीं लगा जलेबी. आइसक्रीम नहीं लगा अच्छा. Okay, let's start. We are here to witness our first boardroom discussion for the table. It is pretty interesting to note debates on is breaking into information security. And for this boardroom discussion, it will tickle your little gazelle. We have with us our moderator, Mr. Hudney Piquant. He is a solution architect at Synec. We welcome you, sir. So now our panelists for the discussion are Mr. Sagar Parmar. He is Senior Information Security Researcher at Aldar PGSC Abu Dhabi. Next, we have with us Ms. Kainat Kamal. She is Advanced Cyber Security Engineer at Honeywell. Next, we have with us Ms. Kavitha Sheth. She is Virtuosa Security Consultant at Standard Chartered Bank. Next, we have with us Mr. Savan Gadhiya. He is Technical Director at the SecOps Group. Finally, we have with us Jigar Thakkar. He is Core Penetration Tester at Cobalt.io. On the behalf of B-Side Ahmedabad team, I welcome each one of you. Thank you. Welcome.
All right, how you doing, everyone? All right, we're gonna get started. So this is about breaking into security, cybersecurity. We all know it's not the easiest thing to do all the time. So one of the first things that I wanted to ask you, and anyone can answer it, is, it's hard to break into cybersecurity, right? So the thing is, for someone that doesn't have experience, okay, like no experience at all, but they want to get into it, what's the best way to start to get experience, to break into cybersecurity?
Hello everyone. I hope you guys are enjoying here. My name is Sagar Parmar and I live in Abu Dhabi, working in information security researcher from last 6 years and working in one of government entities in Abu Dhabi. I'm also in Cobalt Core as a lead. So as is how to start in the cyber security career. So basically, like everyone came from the no background. Like everyone has to start from the beginning, right? So no one are like expert, and no one is like we all are like. It's like you need to start from somewhere. So if you want to information security is like whenever you focus on target and like if you have, for example, like if you have no background of personally, like I have completed my graduation in BCom. I was no having experience, nothing, but still like I'm in researcher. I do bug bounties, I do information securities. So for starting career path, like it's all about self-learning. It's like I have seen like many people like they do some CES certifications and some certifications and all. So people are like saying, if I do these certifications, can I get a job? I can say no. Certifications will help to after the job, if you want to go grow for some positions or something, then might be certification can help. But getting into the information security is all about self-learning.
So you say self-learning, right?
It
Like,
is all about self-learning.
what are
So
some things that they could use, like to self-learn? Like, what are some resources, for example, that they can use to self-learn? Like, is there like any websites they can go to, or?
as you know, guys, Google is our father. Everything is there. Whatever you search, everything. So for starting, like for a research, just follow some researcher, their blogs, how they find a bugs, and just get their methodology, how exactly they are breaking into the targets, how, and I just wanted to say one thing, like you guys are not at all late. I have seen many people like they said like whenever they choose a target, they said like, oh my god, like people like Nikhil and Hudney and like all our top researchers. So people thought like all targets are already they have finds bugs. So you won't find. No, you are wrong. You can still find the bugs. You can find, just like you just focus what exactly you are doing. So just whenever you choose a target, just read the target carefully, what exactly you need to do. Just do complete recon. Don't like blindly like I have seen people like whenever open a target, they keep on doing like accesses, finding accesses, SQL injections,
Right.
and all. No, that's all a wrong methodology.
Yeah, that's a good
You
tip.
need to read the program carefully, deep and dive recon. After that, you have to do your own methodologies. And once you find, for example, you find accesses, you just report it. No, after the accesses, what can be you
Right,
done?
right.
So
Yeah.
those all things you need to make a chain attack.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Is following other researchers, especially on Twitter, is a really good idea. When what he said, because you can learn a lot from them. Is there any other good tips you guys would have?
Yeah, I think, hi all, I'm Savan. So yeah, Sagar said the right thing that there is no background required to start the security field or something like that. That is very true. He's become and like started in security after like self-learning and everything. So to start the security, like you first need to decide what are you looking for, like which field do you want to do, right? There are vast variety of fields like AppSec. Like in AppSec, you can say the web application, network, mobile. So these are cloud and so many IoT, source code review. So I would say that if you have source code, like if you have developer backgrounds, then you can definitely start looking at source codes, and you can check the like what vulnerabilities are there in OAuth top 10. And first of all, like in any of these particular fields, you need to start with OWASP, and OWASP is the basic source and the most trustable source, I think, for like to start with, start learning and everything with this particular things. The second, like if you want to do practical stuffs, so you can definitely check at Burbsuit Labs. That is a very good resource we have, right? So I believe that for web applications, you can definitely look at these particular sources, and you can start with these things, and you can definitely become a web application. Like you can start learning web application testing. So when you start this particular area, what you need to do and how you can do. So in my opinion, like you can start with OWASP and just start doing the research and learning on this particular, like on first thing I will say that you will not understand anything because it's not a like it's a book, or it's a material which is like already written by some good security consultants, security researchers. So you will not get a good points. I will not say like you will not get anything, But yeah, you will get like 10%, and then if you realize like after reading it again and again, you can start with like 30%, 40%, and something like that. So in my belief, what is more important is like when you start, just try to sync up the things. Like in OAups, like there are most vulnerabilities. So you can just identify. I have identified the vulnerable, like this particular vulnerability, like SQL injection, SSRF, is described over here. And if I found any instances during the testing, like if I'm doing the testing or something like that, then you need to go there and search for that particular areas, like what is the, like, you will not get an idea of like if you have found SSRF or you are looking at the web application and you are seeing that there is a SSRF vulnerability or SQL injection vulnerability, then you might like check the single quote and normal things, right? And you will get the error or not get error, or it's a blind SQL injection or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
this kind of stuffs will really help.
Yeah, so the top 10 OAuth is a good framework to follow. I mean, it's always evolving, but it's still the fundamentals, so it's very good. You were going to say something? Oh, it's not working? You can take the mic. You can take the mic.
Hello, am I audible, right? So if I share my point of view, like what I see, if anyone get into cybersecurity, okay, pick up one topic and see what can go wrong and how can you prevent it, what can you do about. For example, I have diverse background, okay. When I was in bachelor's, I was not that sure that, okay, I want to be in cybersecurity and hacking and all these things. Okay, I fascinated by that, okay. I heard one guy who play around with the Google server. At least for 2 seconds, I was fascinated by that, but I was not that clear, okay, I want to be in. So I was pretty clear with, okay, I like the cryptography. I like the mathematics. I was sure that my problem solving capabilities are up to the mark. I won't like struggle with that. So later on, I take the call, and I started my journey with Oracle. So that time, I was not only doing the security part, I supposed to do the QA part also, which you have to do functional testing. Okay. So they don't ask you to only security part. So in functional testing also, so if there any QA, right, you can also switch to, all you have to do, see what can go wrong, understand product, you will find. So I'll give you, I was able to find accesses, okay, and authentication bypass, but more impactful, the business logic I was finding. Why? Because I was having the hold of, okay, what can go wrong. Same approach helped me to moving around any field, okay. I quickly learned the cloud security also. So yeah, good resource much required. So you can communicate with like who has the experience around. Obviously you do Google, but I get overwhelmed, okay. There are so much resources out there, what to pick up, right? So take some direction, okay. I am seeing this much resources, what are the appropriate one? Because when I started, I was following few blogs, and they was talking about just, okay, this is how you find the accesses, okay. They are not talking about why access is there, what could be possible fix, okay. Same thing if you are in ML or any, even if you are communicating with human, psychology perspective, okay. So even doctor can come into picture, psychologists can provide the inputs, even AI, right? That people, the AI bit, right? So you can see code side, but if you realize AI is more toward your neurons and NLP part. So you have to understand the human mind. So to understand that also, so like cyber is vast, like it's not only application, cloud, right? So I would say problem solving and see what can go wrong.
Yeah,
And how can you?
that's a good thought process, actually. Like, what can go wrong? Like, it really helps with embracing errors, because sometimes when you're working on something, you get an error message, it becomes very, like, just, you feel kind of bad that you got an error and you don't know what to do. But when you start embracing errors, like she said, it actually helps you for other things as well. Because when you get stuck, you know how to get out of it. You don't want to stay stuck forever. So that's a good practice to have. And another thing is too is there is a talk about hard skills and soft skills. Like hard skills being like the technical things, and the soft skills being like the interpersonal things, personality. Because there's other aspects too. When you got a corporation, you have to know how to have a personality too. Because typically tech people are considered to be strange, But we also have a personality too. So what are your thoughts about soft skills versus hard skills? What's more important, what's less, or what's good to have?
Hello everyone, I'm Kainat. So yeah, as you mentioned, soft skills are also important, but yeah, we have seen the geekiest of geeks in the hacker industry, right? So yeah, the hackers don't need the soft skills. Yeah, everyone agrees, right? They are just gonna drop one POC on a Saturday evening or on a Friday evening, okay? You will be partying and they'll be dropping. So yeah, but if you are like, you want to be on the ethical side of things, and you want people to fix stuff, right? Because as ethical hackers, we want to protect the companies. So for that, we need to communicate. And communication, you need to have the soft skills.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, this is a very good point, because you have to consider like there's a business side of it too that you're helping. So you have to be able to communicate what you're trying to do, what's important. You have any thoughts about the business itself?
Hi, I'm Jigar. So we are discussing the breaking into information security, right? So for me, there is if you don't know the hard skill, there is nothing matter. And if you don't know the programming, still also doesn't matter. Just you have to be good at understanding the application, first of all, and all the possibilities, like how the application exactly works, what are the business behind it, and what is the core function of the application, like if it is a banking application or data sharing application, social application. So first of all, you have to be good at to create all of the test cases. Like if I'll do something like this, then what will happen? So you have to create as much possible test cases, and you have to try after one by one. So there is no need to programming in this. Just you have to basic knowledge to see the traffic, how the traffic goes, and if you modify the traffic, then what will be the output.
Okay, that's good. That's good information. That's good. It's a different perspective to have, which is good. Any of you have certifications?
Okay. So
No certs?
I think
What do you got?
don't have-
What's your thoughts about certifications? Do you need them?
See,
is
I
it
told you
necessary?
guys. See, I told you guys. So, I'm not sure. See, certifications doesn't matter. If you are in security field, whatever you know, knowledge is more important if you compare with the certifications. So, certifications is matter when to growing in certain level. To starting a career, I have seen people are like saying like how to start a career, I don't have a certifications and all. No, you don't require actually to getting into the securities, you don't require any certifications. Just okay.
Something about the certification area. So for my point of view regarding the certification is like certification is a completely a course. So other companies already know about that. This guy is certified this, then the guy must have to knowledge about all these things. So why the companies are required certification? So they already know, like he already cleared this exam, so he have already all of this knowledge. Second is your talent. If you don't have certification, but you still can prove yourself, like breaking all the stuff like CTF and others. So there is no need to security, any kind of security certification in that case. So it depends on company. Like sometimes it's valid, sometimes not valid. If you have talent, then there is no need for certification.
Yeah, it's a hit or miss. It's a hit or miss. Let's say, for example, though, you don't have any experience, right? But they're requiring the certification. What are some things that you can do to basically balance that you don't have the certification and you don't have like the actual, experience? What are some things?
So, like, first of all, I totally agree with Jigar, and they have told कि okay, certification is not required. It's whole curriculum that you can take up. You need to take the certification when your company asks for. Like that is non-negotiable. Like
Yeah,
that
sometime
time,
actually.
like you are supposed to. You can show them. I give you reasoning behind it. So you can show them skills, right? But the company itself presenting that company to customers. Now customer wants their professional to be certified, at least few of them, right? So
Like
company
in
will ask you.
Correct. Like in Europe, like
So
whenever you have to do something for a testing or something, company is for a compliance perspective, right? They have to be people who's penetrate or who is doing the testing for those persons should be certified for cert certifications or any OSCPs or whatever certifications is required. So
Well, hold
sometime
on.
it's required.
Well, hold on a
But
second. Finish.
yeah. So
Keep the mic close. Yeah, keep it. Yeah.
sorry.
You keep it close here.
Okay, this is okay. So what I'm saying कि if you are starting, it's not कि okay you have done. So I'm communicating with like I'm engaging with my college students also. So they were saying if we are CH certified, it's pretty sorted. No, I was like no, you have to done the hands-on part. You do certification where your company do sponsor, and they ask you to do. Then only you are supposed to do it. Other than you can take the whole curriculum and learn it, it will eventually help you, right? But it doesn't make sense if, for example, there is product security engineer who is dealing with the fixing the code, and you ask him to do the CEH or the OSCP. That doesn't make sense. He should have the knowledge of the vulnerabilities, not the doing the red teaming part, right? So that's like how it's co-aligning everything. But yeah, again, I think the certification, like both aspect, like non-negotiable. At
Okay.
some point, it's not negotiable. Do you know?
Okay. Oh yeah. Someone say yeah.
Yeah, so I would just add like, yeah, certifications add initiating factor, right? When we are filtering the CVs. So yeah, it's not a to have, must have, but it's good to have because, it filters out your CV. But at the end of the day, if you have a certification, but you cannot clear the exam or I mean to say the interview,
Yeah.
then it doesn't make sense, right? So ultimately, yeah, it's good to have, but not a must
Yeah,
have.
that's good. Yeah, so I mean, it's a hit or miss, right? And it all depends on the company. So you just have to kind of consider like what the company is saying, but also understand that there's other things that you can do to get experience to offset. Because one of the things you have to think about is when you go for an interview, and let's say you do have the certification won't be able to speak for you. So it's something that you don't want to rely on 100%. And as we're getting into interviews, what are some things that you have? Because there's two parts, right? There's one thing where you qualify for a job, but then this thing that's stopping you from getting the job is the interview, right? So when it's time for the interview, what's the best way for anyone to prepare for a cybersecurity interview?
I would say first, be authentic, okay? If you are mentioning that you are pro at web application security or you are pro at network security and you are not able to answer the basic question, you will be the first person who get rejected. Okay, so I will start with the basic that, okay, I'm assuming the like cybersecurity vast, right? So I'm like talking about like in terms of product security engineer right now. So it would be if we consider as a three aspect, right? They want to know basics. So first, OAuth top 10 is you are clear or not. Cryptography, how much you know. Network part, like not exploitation part, but at least you should know what is top OSI Leos, right? What are the possible attack vectors for that? Then like yeah, they also see the reasoning part. How are you trying to solve? For example, if I'm saying XSS and I will twist the question and you are not able to answer that, it's again like you just have the basic definition knowledge and you don't have the like that problem solving ability. For example, if I give you my context, right, they have asked bunch of question like what is web application security, OAuth, web cloud, network, okay. Then if you now in cloud, right, IAM and all these things, but basic they mostly play around like if application, OAuth, SANS,
Yeah, Sam's really good.
cryptography, yeah,
Yep.
and all these questions they do ask, and the authenticity they look for sure.
Oh,
I
that's
have
yeah.
seen the people get rejected just because of that. They have mentioned something and turn out to be a disaster. And second thing, the way you communicating, they also evaluating your communication skill in the interview itself.
Okay, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. You have any thoughts?
Yes, I think uh, you said exactly right thing. And for like starting in whenever you apply in any particular company or anything, just study about like what they do,
That's
like
good.
what is your like skills and their match. Like if the application is for like if they have job descriptions and it is already mentioned that they are looking for network and you are expert of web application, then please do not apply because it does not
Yeah.
make any sense to apply and waste your time and their time as well, because it's like it's the thing that they have described. We are looking for these particular things and we are looking for starting level opportunity or something like that. So whenever you start, like what you look at the job descriptions and try to understand each and every points mentioned in that particular job descriptions. And and whenever you send a resume, like don't just mention like any bluff things in the resume. Sometimes what happens, like we write all the tools of security, right, and we don't know how to run that and how to like exploit. We also mention sometimes the vulnerabilities, but we don't know how to exploit it. Like let's say we have mentioned deceleration attack. So the interviewer will ask you the question like how you do exploit or something like that, right?
Right.
And if you have got bounty or something in that particular area, then you will be asked for that particular bounties as well. Like if you mention that I have found the bug in Google, and at that time founding the bug in Google, you took help from the friends, that is fine. But you need to understand that, means the finding which you have submitted to any platforms, right? So you need to understand that particular findings in deep, and you need to do analysis after the like after like reviewer accept the things. Like in like you are like in CNX, so you might know better than me. Like whenever any bugs comes to in the picture, like what are the things, like how far the attacker do the exploits or something like that. So you need to also understand CIA triad, like confidentiality, integrity, and availability. If they are, if all three are like vulnerable and all three are like exploitable, then definitely like more than high or critical vulnerability as
Yeah,
well. So
that's
this is
good.
the things we need to manage when sending the resume and matching the job description with our resume.
Yeah, and that's good studying the company, because you have to imagine you're not the only person applying. So somehow you have to be set apart from the other candidate, right? So if you actually study the company, you show that you're interested, they look to that as, oh, this guy's not just looking for a job. This individual, this man, this woman, they're looking for an actual career. That's a big difference than just a job. They're going to look at you differently as a candidate. So it is important, though, like you said, to study the company. What do they do? Did they acquire a company? Acquisitions. Sound interested? Bring these things up, and they're going to see that you're different, right? But one of the things, though, is it could be tough because, like, let's say you're trying to break into the industry, as we're talking about, and you may know some people, or you may know some people from afar. You see their LinkedIn or you see their Twitter, and they're doing so many good things, so many big things, but you feel like, man, maybe I can't catch up to them. It's too late. I don't know if I can make it in cybersecurity. What's the point of even starting? So that kind of thing that happened in your mind, the syndrome, right? Like, how do you handle that when that happens? Because we know those things happen where you see people doing so well, and you're wondering, man, like, would I be able to get into that? Like, how do you deal with that thought process?
Yeah, so I said you are not at all late, right? So if don't think like people have already started and they have already like in the field and they have already like finds issues and all how you will find it. No, you are not at all late. Whenever I just want to suggest everyone who is a new wants to grow his career in the cyber securities. So before like you just need whenever um, you choose a target, just focus what exactly and try to find something new, not focus on excesses and all those things. And, right, and the one thing I want to suggest, patience is a key.
Patience. Yeah.
Patience is a key, right? I have seen people, they in any of platform, they reported the issues, and after that they just like sitting and be waiting for a bounty. When my bounty will come, when what will be next? People will not. People are not sleeping. Like, oh my God, oh mail is coming. Okay, how much bounty? But after that, they message it's got duplicated or rejected.
Rejected.
Something.
Yeah.
How so? You are wrong. You need to, whenever you find the issues after report, forget about this. Leave what you have done. Just
Move on to the next thing.
and be patient. If it's your bug is valid and you are the first one, then definitely it will be your you will be get rewards, right? So and find something new means and read the applications, read the complete. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. You have thoughts?
Yeah, so I want to say what you mentioned, it can be more said to be imposter syndrome. And I think already the two keynotes have already spoken about it, and we all face it. Let's agree. But yeah, that's something that should not burn you out and stop from trying. So that's what, yeah. I did not find my first bug until I was 1 month into it. Okay, and the first day that I found, after that I've been doing it. I'm not leaving security. Okay, yeah. So keep trying. That's the key.
Yeah, keep trying. Keep trying.
When I found my bug, like
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on 1 second, because I want to make sure we go through everyone. Yeah, what's he gonna say?
Okay, so I was the one of the question you asked, right? I was in that dilemma. Also, yesterday itself, I was like, I'm surrounded by so many fields. So, what would be like long-term goal would be would like? And in beginning itself, like 3 years or 2 years back, I was same. Okay, I wanted to start. I don't know. Like so I was reaching out to people. Okay, so I was at time, okay, I was working, okay, as an intern already. But I was like, I wanted to explore more. Like, it's not enough. This is not only this much cybersecurity. I wanted to explore more. So I started reaching out people that, hey, I know this much, but I wanted to explore this area as well, okay. Can you help me with? Because I'm just starting. And as I mentioned, right, the background of cryptography and all this and detecting anomalies, right? So it quite differ than the web application or the API security. So try to reach out to people like LinkedIn or Twitter also. Ask them, look, okay, you see the profile, okay, they are doing great, or you can utilize communities as well. That hey, you are doing great with it. Can you help me with the what do and don'ts, and like maybe give some direction at least, and don't expect to okay give you. Like exact that okay this is what you have to do, and don't expect you to teach you everything.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
ask
yeah.
for the direction and resource but yeah, like you don't know, that would be like, I think that's the beauty of cybersecurity. It's like you have to keep learning. So
That's good, yeah.
that
I mean, you do want a community of people that you have that you're going to ask questions to, and as a community, we just need to be helpful, for each other as well. Does anyone out here have any questions for the panel? Any questions that you might have in your mind that you would like answered that they can help with?
How to find the resources for the, as I am the beginner of in the field of this huge cybersecurity field. So how to find the resources that this is the best thing I want to learn, means how to start, what is the first step we need to take for the field of cybersecurity. Thank you.
Then
Yeah, I would say like cybersecurity is a vast domain. I would suggest you to first start looking at different domains, okay? So that you can first find your field of interest. And once you can recognize your interest, nothing is going to stop you. Because if something interests you, it keeps you awake and you'll never get tired. You'll start learning it. That's my first thing that I would suggest, and people will add up to it.
Actually, I agree too with Kanan. Like, you have to first explore enough. I give you my example. Okay, I was one of you. Like, it's okay, what to learn and all these things. But I explore enough. Even so, I'm one of that who is having the like masters and all this went for the traditional approach. But at some extent, that helped me. Okay, I figured out what I like, what I didn't like. If someone says sensor, I would pretty enough say I will know. I don't have the interest in it. I won't explore it. But if someone come up with okay web application, I'm liking it. Machine learning, I'm liking it. AI, I'm liking it. Now to find good enough resource, take help of seniors. At least they have the experience. For example, if you are liking the web application, right? See who is working from past 2-3 years or at least 5 years. They know what could be a basic resource that good to start. Now to explore in depth, that up to you what you like, because some resource they will find it's good for them, that won't work for you. Because the level of understanding, right? And the maybe you might be the visual learner also, or maybe audio learner, so it's vary. But basic, I would say ask, take help from the seniors. Like sometimes you won't get. For example, I was digging into one particular topic. I was just okay searching all together.
Yeah, that's
But
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's really important though, because everybody has different things that they like. So it'd be hard to give an exact answer because it depends what you like, you know. Because the person give you the answer, they may like something, but you may not like it. So that's a good thought process. We have one more round before our time is up. If there's no more questions, we'll just finish answering the last one. Oh, you have okay.
My question is for you. Actually, I am also, just as you said, so I related with you that yes, I am undergraduate in last year. And I last year also attended B-sides. Like they say, like you said that ask your seniors and things. Like whenever you go to your seniors, they say that read documentation for knowing the technical side of the things. So what are these documentations and where can we find such, like, see, we can read papers for something like if we want to build a basic AI or some application, we read papers where they mention about the tools and everything. Okay, and then we just have to go through it and we can be getting the idea, basic idea of how that will function and how. So what are these like documentations for that cyber security they are saying, and where can we find that?
Okay. So let me just confirm if I under.
Well, actually, this is gonna be the last question. I'm gonna have anyone that hasn't had a chance to speak yet at the end. Anybody have an answer for that besides? Okay. Yeah, you can just finish it. This will be the last one. Yeah. Yeah, you can finish. Yep.
Okay. So as you mentioned, right, the documentation, I don't agree that only documentation is the key, because I refer YouTube videos as well, curriculum as well. That's why I mentioned earlier, right? Figure out how you learn quickly, right? if someone is having hold of reading, they will refer the documentation. Now, I will tell you why documentation. Like for example, OAS have the video and the documentation. Documentation is going in depth. That's why they are telling you to go through the documentation part, right? Now to finding a particular one, that's again, like for example, for web application or OAS view, right? So it's a standard documentation. For cloud, if we say AWS, they have that documentation very well written. So I think that's one of the key to going through. But I'm not telling that, okay, but you will have all the things in one place. So that's why it's work as a book kind of. So
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for answering. Our time is up. We have to keep rolling, but you can always ask questions after, for sure. Thank the panelists for their time and the answers and their experience that they could share with you. These are celebrities here in front of us. And we want to thank you for your time. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.